Hey y'all, Rochelle here, your delightful crafter. So I apologize for not getting this done sooner. It took a lot more to put together than I thought. But anyway, today is my Arteza review, and we're gonna do a quick Christmas card using some of the Arteza products. And yeah, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stick around a spell. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. Ding the bell next door if you want to get notifications of future videos. Thumbs up, likes are always appreciated. And any questions or comments, please leave them down below. So, this is a collab with Arteza. They reached out to me again and asked if I would review some of their items. And as y'all know, I give my honest opinion, and in no way, them providing the products does it sway my view. So this time around, they sent me this set of 6 water brushes. I've already pulled one out so that we could use it tonight. So it's going to be 3 of the point, like fine point. And then there are 3 flat brush, so like a wash. So you have a small, medium, and large of the regular brush tip, and then a small, medium, and large of the flat wash brush. Today we're just going to use the small because of the stamp that we're going to be using. So there's that. They also sent me this watercolor palette with half pans. It has 48 half pans. Tonight we're not going to, we might put a couple, we might put a few of the colors in here, but generally when I'm filling my pans, I like to also write the paint information on the side, and that just takes a lot of time. It's very time consuming. So I'll probably pick out just a couple of colors just so you can see how these work. But so far I'm really happy. The sides are rolled. So, and the reason why I point that out is some palettes, they have a really rough edge, kind of like right here in the corner, that you can cut your fingers on. So I really like that everything seems to be finished off. This is the first time I've ever received a palette that has clear half pans. So I actually kind of like that. You can see the whole pan. As you can see, they're easily pulled in and inserted. Again, there's 48. You also have room for some paint brushes, and these also pull out. If you really want a lot of mixing area, you could pull the palette out and use this as additional mixing space, but that's not something that I would do. So there's that. And so you have 4 large mixing wells up here, and then you have some mixing space here, and then, what is that? 8 small mixing spaces over here. I generally tend to use, I'm an extreme novice when it comes to watercolor. I do enjoy it, but as I've mentioned before, what I know of watercolor, I've learned from other YouTube channels here on YouTube. So, yeah, so they sent that. They sent me, I already opened it up so I could prep some of the items, but they sent me a 3-pack of the 5.5 by 8.5, 140 pound, 300 GSM watercolor paper, and I believe this is cold press. I don't think it says on here. It says smooth, so you have a smooth and a texture side. So I'm going to assume this is a cold, yeah, it's right there, a cold press watercolor paper. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, cold press has more of a texture and tooth to your paper. A hot press is very smooth. Then you also have a rough, which is rougher than the cold press, if that makes sense. I do happen to like the cold press, so I was happy that they sent me these 3. And they have this labeled as expert. So I'm assuming that's probably their artist grade. I'm not sure. So, but that's what we're going to be using today for the card. And then finally, I'm going to set this all over here to the side. They sent me, I was so excited, the 60 count premium watercolor set. And it includes all of these colors. It also includes their, what I really like, it includes their pigment makeup for each color. And I think I only counted, 12 single color pigments, and that includes a white. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the white because you can alter the colors of each one by adding more or less water to it. So, yeah, so it includes, it's going to be a long list, I apologize. Titanium white, yellow pale, lemon yellow, yellow ochre, gamboge, orange yellow, scarlet red, vermilion red, burnt sienna, crimson red, rose, lilac, violet, phthalo blue, Prussian blue, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, light green, sap green, deep green, raw umber, burnt umber, noir, which is black, apricot, viridian green, gray, sepia, sky blue, neon pink, orange red, Naples yellow, seaweed, saffron orange, blush pink, Bordeaux red, lime green, ballerina pink, latte brown, tan toffee, light apricot, peach mauve, Aegean blue, stone blue, ice blue, sage green, olive green, taupe, wineberry, eucalyptus, pear green, violet, tulip, indigo, bubblegum pink, lavender, spiced apple, mint green, and jade green. Yeah. A lot of those aren't colors I recognize. I think they're made up colors. It does include its light fastness, so that lets you know whether or not if it's something you want to either keep in a sketchbook or, watercolor and then matte and frame and put up. You're in transparency, and then again, your pigment makeup of each color. So, for the price point, I think, that's a lot of watercolors in this price point don't include that information, so I was really happy with that. They come in these trays. I like, that they're packaged that way. You can pull them out. I think what we're going to do is we are going to test them from the tube because it would just take too long to, put them into a palette, swatch them out. Because I still want to be able to work on a small Christmas card with y'all. So we're just going to work from them from the palette, or from the tube, I apologize. It looks like they tried to keep the colors somewhat together, if that makes sense. Although I wouldn't really say so, because I wouldn't put greens with oranges and pinks. So we have blues, greens, and purples here. More greens. Looks like there's your wineberry. So we have, looks like 8 palettes of watercolor. So I'm going to go ahead and pull these out. And like I said, we're going to swatch them from the tube. This is my first time trying Arteza watercolor. And again, like I said, I would barely call myself even a novice. I know, as I mentioned before, just enough to be dangerous. The one thing I don't like about the palettes being multiple pigments is if you try to mix colors, they're going to muddy up because you've got multiple pigments within each color. If you have single pigments, it's easier to mix them together because you kind of have an idea of how they're going to work. So I guess we will, I'm not going to label them on the palette. I just want for you guys to be able to see how they flow, their, you know, their color, their vibrance, if they granulate. So this one is lime green. Let me get this over here. Let's see. I'm almost thinking I should have come on, gotten paper towels instead of my cloth. And let's see if I can, yeah, get it to suck back in there. I'm afraid this is going to take longer than I was I knew it was going to take a while, but I think this is going to take longer than I thought. This is Ballerina Pink. So a lot of y'all have been following along. I have, I'm sure you've noticed, I haven't been posting as much. I come home and I'm just tired all the time. And it's really rough to get out of bed. Don't get me wrong. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. The people I'm working with are great. I've lost another pound. You know, we know that I was losing weight due to stress from the last job. This is Latte Brown. I kind of like that. I will say, I don't think I have a lot of control with the water brush. So that I'm not liking. I think, I would probably use it for dipping. This is Tan. I'll say I like the colors. We had a costume contest at work. But yeah, the new department I'm in is great. This next color is Toffee. If you're more interested in the card, I'm going to let you know it's going to be later on in the video. I really like these colors here. As far as earth tones go, I'm liking them so far. They did a costume contest. They did a hail and farewell. So they had a couple people leaving, and then I had to go and introduce myself, being new to the department. And yeah. So that's light apricot. I guess that's okay. I don't think I'll ever use it. And if you look, the tube kind of has a light green tint to it, but not even close. So definitely a good idea to swatch your colors. This is Orange Yellow. Depending on how long this video takes to record and get set up for you guys, I may do another video tonight. I got a lot of Happy Mail this week, which I was not, well, a few items I was told were coming, and then, but you guys are so kind. A lot of y'all reach out to me, or you just send me. And again, I have told you guys, I am more than happy to reimburse you. When I'm on the hunt for stuff, I'm happy to pay for it. you know, I don't expect gifts. My channel, I do because I enjoy, and I enjoy sharing with you guys. I've met, as I mentioned before, I've met some wonderful friends through the channel, and so I'm very thankful for that. This is yellow ochre. I'm not, I know names, but I'm not very familiar. Like, I know some watercolorists out there can just like look at a color and say, oh, that looks like this. I'm not even close. I can tell that right there's looking kind of milky. That was latte brown right there. This is lemon yellow. So I'm trying to go from full strength to, you know, ooh, that's kind of like in your face yellow. I need to move this up because it's hard for me to, I want to make sure you guys can see everything. This is yellow ochre. I got to get my brush cleaned off. I don't want any colors contaminating each other. So as you can see, the tip of my brush is changing color, but it's not a, you know, it is coming clean. As I squeeze right here, it says push. When you push on it, it releases more water. I think I let too much out that time. I want to start getting to the blues and greens. Next color is gamboge. I wish I'd gotten paper towels instead of my cloth. So, and while I'm going through this, this is orange. Am I going the right way? I don't think I'm going the right way. Well, gosh darn it. Yellow pale. I'm talking and not paying attention. I apologize. Again, this is yellow pale. Next one is titanium white. I guess we'll do it just because it's there. I doubt I'll ever really use it as a watercolor color. If I were to use white, I would probably get a gouache to accent with. I'm surprised you can actually see that on the paper. So there's that one. Oh yay, we're getting to some pretty colors now. Well, I mean, come on. Okay, we're gonna start here. This is lilac. I really like that one. Next is rose. I am doing this and I'm watching the History Channel. Those who are my age may or may not remember In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy when we were kids. And they brought In Search Of back with that new kid that plays Spock in the new Star Wars movies, like Into the Darkness and whatever. He's actually pretty good. I like him. I didn't think anybody could be Spock besides Leonard Nimoy, but he's pretty good. This is Crimson Red. Ooh, I like that one. I don't even have it on paper. Oh yeah. I'm liking this. I think I want to keep that one out because we're going to use that on our image. I went ahead for the Christmas card and pre-stamped the image we're going to use because I wasn't sure how long this video was going to. This is Burnt Sienna. Next we have Vermilion. I'm hoping this brush lasts. Yeah, I like Crimson better. My husband had fun for Halloween, however, although the weather was beautiful, last year it got rained out, and so he was like, oh, we're gonna have lots of trick-or-treaters this year. No. He does a Pirates. Oh, that's a pretty red. This is Scarlet Red, so I'm gonna pull that out too. So he was thinking we were gonna have a lot of trick-or-treaters, and he does a Pirates Cove, and I'll just say that we had an entire treasure chest full of candy. This next color is Indigo, and first off, I'm taking it to work. He's taking it. Oh, that's a pretty blue. We're going to take it to work and get rid of it. But I did raid the trunk, and I pulled out, actually I had my son pull out the Baby Ruth, Payday, Butterfingers, Heath bars, Mr. Good bars, and the Hershey Special Dark, and Snickers. But that still left Twix and Skittles and Starburst, and my husband starts, this one is Bubblegum Pink. My husband starts getting Halloween candy the second it starts hitting the shelf. Yeah. Oh, that's a pretty pink. That's a pink I use in my craft room. I don't know how often I'd use it in watercolor, but it's pretty. I'm really liking how they are drawing on the paper. Now this is granulating a lot. I don't know if it's because I had too much paint. But clean up. This is Lavender. Gosh, we still have we still have 6 of these trays to go, and we're already at 23 minutes. I told you guys this was going to be a long video. That's why I'd been putting it off. This is Spiced Apple. It's an interesting color. I don't know that I would call that apple. Next we have Mint Green. And again, this isn't something that I would consider a mint green, but, and some of y'all might be curious as to what the pigment makeup is for these. I apologize that I haven't been including that. I wouldn't call that a mint green, but I do like that. This next one is Jade Green. I guess I didn't get enough of that one. So sadly, our neighbors across the street sold their house, moved back home. I'm happy for them, very sad for us. They were wonderful neighbors. However, ever since they moved here, they haven't had much luck. Like, they had all kinds of stuff done to their house, and every contractor that they hired, it wasn't a good experience, and I feel bad. And the new neighbors have moved in, but haven't really introduced, like my husband and another neighbor went and introduced themselves, but that's about it. They hopefully, I mean, they're just still getting moved in, but not very interactive, which our cul-de-sac is very, like, everybody knows each other. So hopefully they're the same kind of family. We'll see. This is sap green, and so I like that one. I think we'll hold that one out. And I think I'm also going to pull out the mint green, although I wouldn't call that a mint green. This is deep green. Come on. I'm happy that Halloween is done and gone. Oh, that's pretty. I can start getting into the Thanksgiving goodness and Christmas. I know some people out there going bah humbug, but we all know, I've always told you guys I'm a huge Christmas person. So this is raw umber. That's got some granulation to it. I kind of like that. We're going to hold that one out too. Don't know if we're going to use it, but this is burnt umber. I mean, it comes pretty nice from the tube. Some of these are drying over here are kind of flat. If you can see that. They're kind of chalky, I guess, but you know, that's okay. Like I said, I'm not an expert watercolorist, and I think for somebody who's beginning this, I mean, so far I'm happy with the colors. There's a good array. I mean, even if you don't, this is noir, so hello black. I like that. And another reason I wasn't going to set up the palette was because I wasn't sure. Again, there's only 48 pans in the palette, and there's 60 colors. This is apricot, and so I wasn't sure which 60 I wanted to pick. I mean, which 48 I wanted to pick, and then I had to decide in what order I wanted them in the palette, and that would just take way too long, and so that's why we are not going to tube or pan them. This is Viridian Green. That's kind of a fun green. Next we have gray. Let's get this green off the brush. The tip is good and stained now, but it's not affecting, as y'all can see, it's not affecting the colors as I bounce between them. Again, this is Viridian Green. Ah, darn it, this was supposed to be gray. Gosh darn it. Oh, talking and coloring. Apparently I can't multitask here. Oh, I want to put it out there just so, because some of y'all have asked, I have managed to secure a Jane Davenport Ta-Da Girl. The die that I've been looking for. I don't have it yet, but many of y'all have reached out to me, and I now have one that will be coming soon, I believe. So, okay, this one is sepia. I'm excited to see this one. Just because, I don't know about, every time we go, like you go to those old villages and you can do like those old-timey photos. One of my favorite pictures of Chris and I is on our honeymoon, and I was the saloon girl, and he was this cowboy that came in. It's funny. I love it. Okay, this is sky blue, but the tube kind of looks lavender. So, oh, that does kind of look blue though. I would call that sky blue. That would make some pretty clouds, kind of. Next we have neon pink. Oh, yeah, they labeled that right. And that does not, those do not match at all, do they? And I always suggest swatching your colors, because as you can see, they look one way on the tube and another way on the paper. This is violet. That's pretty. My ribs are beeping. I'm gonna have somebody go check the ribs. Sadly, I haven't figured out how to pause when I record. This is phthalo blue, and I love it. Really bright. Next we have Prussian blue. I'm excited about this one too. So this is all blues. Love that. That's a little brighter than I was expecting for a Prussian blue. I think I'm gonna make it with the water that's in here. This is ultramarine blue. You know, honestly, I'm thinking that with the selection of colors here, I don't think I really care about mixing colors. However, it'll be interesting to see if I want to layer, or I should say glazing, which is going over. This is cobalt blue, and it would be interesting to see how that works. The next one is cerulean blue. That's pretty, but it looks like it's going to be kind of flat. Now we're going to get into some more greens. We have olive green. I like that too. Let's see. And it looks like I have to get another sheet of paper. This is taupe. Y'all give me just 1 second. I apologize. I'm gonna have my son run down. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so that was taupe. Next we have wineberry. I'm excited about this one. That's very pretty. Dries a little flat though, I think. Looks very chalky. Next color is eucalyptus. I'm really liking the paper. It comes perforated, so you can tear it out of your book. Well, it's not tearing easy right now because I'm trying to rush. So we're going to set that up there. Where did we stop? We stopped at wineberry. Okay. Eucalyptus. Oh. And, well, I don't really care for the color. Every day after work, I come home and I take a salt, like a bath salt soak, like eucalyptus, mint. This is pear green. I love the smell, and it just helps everything, all my muscles, like relax, because everything's just like big old knots. Let's see. That was pear green. I kind of like that one. That would be nice on a wreath with, say, like the mint green as an accent. This is violet tulip. It's not bad. Next we have peach. I'm excited because it looks like my daughter and I are huge Hallmark Channel watchers for Christmas. I like that peach. But I just realized that I think it's Lifetime. I think it's Lifetime. They have some really good Christmas movies too. So I watch until I fall asleep, because normally after work, I'm usually falling asleep by like 7:38 now. This is mauve. And I like that too. That peach and mauve are really pretty together. This is Aegean blue. Based on the tube, it looks like I might really like it. And I do. It's pretty. I think so far though, my favorite blue is, I think that's the indigo. I think that's my favorite blue so far. Come on, clean out. Okay. This is stone blue. It looks more like a gray. This hurts your fingers when you keep opening these. I think that's a good name for that, stone blue. Next one is ice blue. I believe, my understanding is, some other channels had experienced some separation of the pigment and the binder, but I haven't noticed that with any of these. I mean, straight from the tube, I'm pretty happy with the way they're performing so far. This is sage green. The watercolor paper isn't warping. It's holding up really well. I'm using a pretty decent amount of water with the colors. That sage green is really pretty. And our last palette of colors. This first one is going to be orange red. I would love it if some of y'all, if you are interested in when I actually do my palette, if you would like me to record that and how I set it up. Again, this is orange red. If you would like for me to do a video when I set that up, I'm happy to. This is Naples yellow. It's pretty pale. I kind of like it. Let's see. Yeah, it's a pretty pale yellow. Next color is seaweed. Oh, I like that. Oh, we're going to pull that aside too. I'm sure you noticed I pulled out colors that would I think would be pretty for the card we're going to do. This is saffron orange. Which is not bad. Next color is blush pink. Oh, we're already at 40-something minutes. And our last color is Bordeaux. I think this is going to look like red grapes. It's kind of a pretty color. All right. I need to pick out a blue. I think this one. I should have picked out a blue. The one I want. That'll work. Okay. And set those aside. So these are all the colors swatched. Not a lot of warping to the pages. They seem to dry close to how they came out of the tube and went onto the paper. Some colors will either lighten or darken as they dry. These seem to stay the same, and I kind of like that. They are very flat. I know like M. Graham, which is made with, its binder is made with honey, and so it has more of a shinier appearance to it. These are very flat. I'm okay with that. They don't rub off the paper, and I like that. They look like they will, because they almost look, some of them look very chalky. But again, this is not a high-end watercolor, but the colors are vibrant, and I really like that. So yeah, so far I'm really happy with those. Let's see, we're going to do that. So I stamped these images just to play around, but I wasn't happy how they stamped out. So this is going to go onto the Christmas card that we're making. I've let me get everything out here. The ink I used, I had to run to get it. This is Ranger waterproof ink, jet black. I did test water on the other page and it did not bleed. So this is my first time using this and I really like it. So I think I'm gonna try and find a smaller pad of that for future use, because this was not fun trying to ink up my images on my stamp positioner. And we're not doing an entire card, and the reason being is I haven't figured out what sentiment I want to use. What we're going to do is, some of y'all have asked in the past, you saw one of my videos, this is called a braided card, and it looks complicated. It is not. It is actually very simple. I'm going to show you how to do it, and I won't tonight, but I'm going to figure out a way to upload the file for you so that you can print it out yourself and make this. And so when I do that, I will post an update and let y'all know on where to go to get the file. This is not something I came up with. This is something I learned many years ago. If I can try and hunt down and figure out who originated this particular type of card, I will share the details, but as of right now, I don't know. Otherwise, I'd give proper credit. But this card has been around for a long time, so just putting that out there. This here is just like so you can get an idea of where we're going with the card. This is our standard A2 card. I've already cut and scored and folded. And basically, the file that I'll upload, I have to redo this, but you can cut out multiple of these templates. And as you can see, I cut it right next to the line, and it butts right up to the score mark on your card right here. And then I fold it over and paper clip it. Now when we go to do the cutting, I'll remove the paper clip so that, I don't ruin my scissors. So basically the card is fairly simple. I didn't know the sentiment I want to use, but we're just gonna start here. So when I upload this, you'll cut out one strip. I like to cut out just a little, beyond, as you can see, where these lines are, because these are our cut lines. Let me get my scissors out. Those aren't the ones we'll use. We'll use these. Okay. So it has a start line and an end line, and that's where you want it to line up on your paper. And you're going to cut it longer so that you can fold over the top portion of your card and the bottom portion of your card. Now, when you cut, you're going to hold it up here. You're going to hold the little fold mark so that it doesn't slip around on you. And you're only going to cut to the very end of the line. And these aren't the scissors I normally use to do this. So, but there's that one. How I locked it. Yeah, these aren't what I normally... Yeah, I'm not going to use those anymore. Where are my big guys? I moved stuff around again, and now we'll try these little ones. See how they handle this paper. This is cards. This is watercolor paper. When I started this, I was trying to debate whether I wanted to do... Yeah, this isn't working either. Those aren't strong enough. Here we go. These will work. Yeah, this is definitely some heavy watercolor paper, because it is it is giving these scissors a run for their money. Normally I would use a standard white cardstock. When cutting this, and it's going to be interesting to see how this holds up when we start doing the folding. And there's a little bit of cutting once we're done here. Ooh, this is some thick cardstock. Hurts just a little bit. Okay. So once you use this once, you kind of have to throw it away. So this will, when it's posted, it's something that you can reprint over and over again, but you really can't use it again once you've made a card. Put the paper clips away. Now, y'all know I'm not very prepared. So basically you're just going to start and you're going to fold down, okay? You're going to grab every other one, again, fold it down, fold it down, okay, and fold it down. All right. So as you can see, it looks a little off because we're missing a part that comes down here and this one comes down too far. So what you have to do, and if I had a straight razor and my cutting mat, I would just cut this right here and right here. So this isn't going to look perfect. I'm actually pretty picky about my cards. So this will just be a sample. You're going to cut it there. You're going to cut it there. All right, once we do that, what I like to do is I like to fold it back, press down on all our little braids. Next, we're going to start tucking. Come on, you can do it. There we go. And one more tuck. There's the start of our braid. As you can see, we are still missing a piece. That's where this little guy comes in hand. And with this, you're actually going to tuck it in right there, and you're going to glue it. And let me get my glue out. Today we're going to use the glue dots. This is permanent adhesive. And I'm going to kind of mark it there and pull it out. And I know that I don't want any adhesive beyond that mark on both sides. So, all right, come on. We'll use this because I'll just... Okay, we're not going to use this one today because I'm using it backwards. Come on, Rochelle. Okay. A little messy. We're going to push it back because we don't want it sticking out the side. All right. And it's very sticky. Tuck it in there. And not behaving. There we go. I'm making a mess, guys. I'm sorry. See, I'm not a clean crafter. Yep, got it. Okay. Now, take my scissors and clean it up just a little bit. And I haven't dug out my ribbon, but generally what I like to do, and it's just me, you don't have to do it, but generally when I make this card, I will tie a ribbon up here or put a ribbon or something to hide that, because that honestly bugs me. But it would look weird if that weren't there either. So we've got our braid, and I didn't. Gosh darn it. Give me a second. I can't believe I did that. Sorry, y'all. Forgot my pop dots because we got a layer. Well, I do. You don't have to. I'd like to. You're going to start off. This is going to be our base. Well, one of the layers. And then I went ahead and I pre-cut this strip, this border strip to use on the card. And I used this older Stampin' Up! border punch. I do not know what it's called. And I just took this strip and and just so you know, I thought this was really neat. I found this at Hobby Lobby. It is Paper Studio, and it's just, they call it a cardstock pack, and it's just strips of glitter paper. I didn't have any glitter shedding anywhere. I really liked that. I think the next time they do their Paper Studio sale, I am going to pick up some more of that. I don't know if that's how I want that, or if that's how I want it. I don't know. What do y'all think? Anyway, for those of you who have never used one of these, it's actually pretty handy. I always start it upside down. Come on out of there. Because seriously, there we go. I want to see where the edge of the cardstock is, and I always want to start it. I don't know if you can see in there. I've got the paper right there in that groove, and that's where I want my first punch. Okay, and there we go. We've got the start of our border, and now what you do is stick it back in here, and you can see the pattern on the punch, and so you want to line these little loops over the pattern to keep it in line. And then you just keep on moving it along, keeping this side butted up against the edge that's sitting there. Keep lining up with the pattern that is on the punch. And it just looks seamless, and nobody would ever know that you punched it out. Let's see. And then this last bit here gets a little tricky. You just have to make sure it stays butted up where you can't see it, and just keep the pattern lined up on the outside, and it just continues. And then I cut my strip on my paper trimmer. We're not going to do that, but I wanted to show those of you who have never used one of these before how I start it. That doesn't mean that's the way you have to start your punch. That's just the way I start them. And it is messy, but that's crafting. It's messy. So real quick, the colors we are going to use. I'm going to do the base in red, and I want to use, I think it was the crimson I really liked. Was it the crimson or the scarlet? Let's find out. I think it's the crimson. Yep. So Add a little more in there. When I decide on the final sentiment that's going to go down here, I will show the finished card. Yeah, I really like that. That looks nice. I probably should have grabbed a yellow. What yellow do we want? Go on. It's down here, I think. Say it's snow. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't think about grabbing a yellow. That would be a good thing about having it out on a palette. It would be easier to find your colors. I don't think it was the lemon. It wasn't the pale. Well. I am trying to figure out where my color is at. Hair, blues. Well, we'll figure that out in a minute. Okay. We are going to do some trees, give the trees some color. And even though they're stamped in black, you know, we can still add green to it. And I want to rotate, so that was sap green, and we're going to do the mint green, or yeah, we'll do the mint green, because I kind of like that one. Or is that what we want? Yeah, we'll use that. And it should dry. Let's see. What do we want to do? The house. The blue, we're just going to add a little bit. Okay. We're going to do a wash on the blue on the background because it is supposed to be a snow globe. Let's see how that behaves. Sorry, I'm not talking. Like I said, I'm normally when I craft, I'm a lone crafter. If I go to crops and stuff like that, I don't really craft because I sit there and I chit chat. Either I chit chat or I craft. It's one or the other, not both. I've always been that way because I guess I'm not a good multitasker. Since I did a red, I don't know what color I want to do the house. Let's see if we can wash out this raw umber. Yeah, we're gonna try this. There we go. Now this raw umber, if you saw on the paper, was really dark, but the more water you can wash it out and give it a softer look. I like that. And I kind of like this kind of rough look to the watercolor. I've already got the red down here. Did we use crimson or did we use scarlet? I don't know which one we used. Hold on. I'll let you know in just a second. I really think a Christmas store should be red. So I think this is what we're gonna do. That's a little redder than, yeah, than the base of the globe. I really need a gold. Let's see. Guess we're gonna have to go through here and find some yellows and see what we're gonna use. Naples yellow, I think, was really pale. Yeah, that's not the yellow we're going to use. Pale yellow? I don't think so. That's the one we're going to use. Yellow pale is what we are going to use on the base of Snow Globe. I kind of like that. And then we're going to do a little yellow up here in the window because, you know, we're home. And I know that's supposed to be snow. You know, we're going to leave it. So, where's my lid? Uh-oh. There it is. Okay. Set that right up there. That is our little watercolor image. Again, I am a total novice at watercolor. I don't claim to be any expert at all. So we can we're gonna go like that and put that over there. Yep, so that's what we're gonna do. We are going to use this as scrap. Run some adhesive. Yeah, here we go. Really? Darn it. I gotta say that this glue dot adhesive is kind of messy, and I don't know how I like it. And I'm intentionally lining it up off center, off the ends like that on purpose, because I want I want to trim it off right here in these little, and it moved. Yeah, I don't think I like this glue dot adhesive. let's see. There we go. Stick, stick, stick. All right, so we have that there. Where are my scissors? There you are. Move that out of the way so I don't ruin the card anymore. That way the top and the bottom match. All right. We are going to get our, I'm using Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. Come on. Because I like dimension. And I am very generous with my pop dots. Pull this off. I do plan on adding a sentiment strip down here, probably some more decorative elements. I will be adding ribbon up here at the top. I think I'm going to go with a gold, like thin glitter ribbon. That way it adds a little more bling to the card and hides the little additional little fold up there. So that's, and then we are going to do some more, pop it up some more. Told you guys, I love pop dots. Okay. Come on. There we go. Normally when I'm doing this, you would probably be looking at the back of my head because I'm really funny about the amount of border, and I messed it up because I wasn't looking directly over it. But my first Christmas card, like I said, I have to add my sentiment. I'll add some extra embellishments up here to hide where we added the top, well, where we cut the bottom off and added it to the top. And then I will probably add, I like to add inserts to all of my cards to write on, you know, when I'm writing a sentiment to whoever's receiving the card. But pretty simple. And very cute. And like I said, when I finish this, I will bring it back on for y'all to see. As I mentioned, I have to say I'm pretty pleased with everything I used. I was iffy on the watercolor brushes because I didn't really feel like I controlled the flow of the water very well. I think what I'll do in the future is probably like dip into a regular cup like I normally do with my other brushes and try it that way, see how I like it. But with the water in there, it was okay. But I was very happy with how that the watercolor paper worked for being an affordable watercolor paper. Again, very affordable watercolor. I liked the selection of colors that came in the set. I will, please do leave a comment below if you want to see me set up the watercolor palette and how I'm going to do it. And we'll make that a future video. And yeah, so this is the first card of the season that I still have to finish, but you guys actually got to watch me make something on the channel, which I know is a shocker. So I apologize that it was long, but I've been telling y'all that this would be a long video because I wanted to give proper time to swatching of the colors. I really do like how they dried. Again, the watercolor paper is a nice weight. It really didn't, there's a slight warp there, but that's you know, that's nothing. You know, especially if you're going to use it on cards, you know, once you put your foam adhesive on the back, it pulls it right down. Not an issue for me. I don't find it an issue. But I am looking forward to playing with these some more. I do plan on the bulk of my Christmas this year being watercolor. So you guys will probably be seeing more of these Arteza watercolors and more Christmas cards coming. I want to do some emboss resists as well. So, yeah, I really wanted to do a little green wreath, but since it's stamped black, it was kind of hard to add color to that. So there you go. First Christmas card of the year using Arteza. And I'm very happy with how it turned out. So let me know what you guys think. I will include links down in the description for all the products that were Arteza products that were used today. And thank you, Arteza, for reaching out to me again to review your products. I've really enjoyed using these today, and I will be using them more in the coming weeks for Christmas. So I hope you guys have a great night. Sorry for the delay in this video, but I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, so Halloween's gone, guys. Christmas is here, and it's time to start getting your Christmas crafting on. And I would say try out the Arteza. I'm very pleased with how it's working out. So love you guys to pieces. As always, happy crafting. Bye-bye.